All right, welcome to the show. So, a lot happened, regarding Nigerian football. Of course, we are still some Nigerian fans are still struggling to get past the disappointment of not qualifying for the Qatar 2022 World Cup because some of our players are still doing well for their respective club sides even after the disappointment. So it begs a lot. A lot of people are wondering why does it happen. So they perform very well for their club, but when they come to the national team, they don't put such a wonderful performance. But one of the major talking points from this past week was the battle of the two victors. Kind of a debate. Victor Ikpeba and Victor Osimhen. I mean, it caused a whole lot of debate online. Of course, after that game against Ghana in Abuja, Victor Ikpeba was on Super Sport, analyzing the game. Then he said a lot of things, but the major talking point was he picked on Osimhen and said that the chances he had more time to control the ball. That would have been a better option. Of course, you watched that game, you saw those opportunities Victor Osimhen had, and he went for the spectacular, the overhead kick. Victor Osimhen is not known for such kind of goals. I don't know if any striker are known for overhead kicks, but I mean, a lot of people went at Victor Ikpeba that Osimhen was the wrong guy to go at in that game, looking at what happened, leading up to that game and all that. But Victor Ikpeba, African Footballer of the Year, former African Footballer of the Year, Prince of Monaco, he's done it. He's been there as a striker as well, scored a lot of goals. Do you think he was in his place to say something like that to Victor Osimhen? And he was analyzing the game. At the end, he said some good words about Victor Osimhen. But to come out with such at that time, where everybody was reeling from the disappointment, do you think it was right for Victor Ikpeba to come out to say that?
I've been on both sides like Victor Ikpeba, maybe not as big as he did, but let's say this: an analyst does not owe you any time to respond to question. Okay, so an analyst goes to the studio, they throw up a question and he would respond to it. But it is up to you to understand the words you use. I think the one word that was out of place there is when Victor Ikpeba said, forget that he's playing for Napoli. Every other thing he said there is within his right to say it. My own problem is not with what Victor Ikpeba said. I think it was wrong when Victor Ikpeba said, forget that he's playing for Napoli. I don't understand what you mean, because that means that there is a wrong way to chime in that, like make it look like maybe the boy the feet too big. You want to let everybody know, say him be Napoli player. That's not Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen have 10 goals in 20 games for the national team. That's the fastest to 10 goals anybody's ever had in the national team, meaning that this guy gave his all. And even as bad as that game, that was the one player that you could not fault in that game. Victor, I'm not blaming anybody. Everybody did well. We just didn't qualify. I think that the real problem is the scapegoat culture that we have. In America, they have the cancel culture. In Nigeria, we have the scapegoat culture. We must scapegoat somebody. We must find somebody to say, oh, this is your fault. When we went to the Nations Cup, we scapegoated Maduka Okoye, and we're very happy to see that he didn't come for the game against Ghana. Like, Francis Uzor will save us. It was like the Goodluck Jonathan Buhari kind of situation. When we went to Ghana and Francis Uzor was like Spider-Man, was saving everything, everybody was like, oh, this is what we're saying. If it was Maduka, if it was Maduka, he would not do this. And then look at the terrible goal he considered against Ghana. But because majority of us wanted Francis Uzor, we could no longer come out and vomit those same words, those same vile comments against him, because the goal he considered against Ghana actually was worse than the goal that Maduka Okoye considered against Tunisia. But at the end of the day, because that wasn't even a shot, that was just a ball that was wafted in by Thomas Partey, and he fumbled it into the net. But now we now decided in the typical Nigerian way, sometimes you lose because you just were not lucky on the day. I want to sit here and say Ghana was better than us, but at the end of the Ghana won. They won the ticket. So we owe them that respect to respect them. The way some of us are reacting, we're reacting like Ghana is such a bad team that in the history of football, Ghana is not supposed to beat Nigeria. First off, when it comes to head-to-head, Ghana is way ahead of us in terms of beating Nigeria. Okay? So we shouldn't even be angry that Ghana took a ticket over us in a two-legged game that they didn't win in the course of the game. 180 minutes, the whole game is even Stevens. It's draw. 0-0 in Kumasi, 1-1 in Abuja. But head-to-head rules changed the whole tide. The two times that we've not qualified for World Cup 2006 and this one, we've not qualified based on head to head. Both times we've not qualified on head to head. Not like, we were in the same group and we're bottom of the group and they were top of the group. No, this is different. I think that the way Victor Ikpeba went about it, maybe, you know that thing they say, it's not what you say, it's how you said it. That is the problem. So it's not what you said to the person that is bad, but it's how you said it and probably the timing. That is it. So for that, I think he shouldn't have said, forget that he's playing for Napoli, because that really does kind of like put depth to his analysis and the way he puts it. But then the way I would say it in is different from the way you say it in. And the way, for me, I mean, I'm the worst. I'm the worst at doing that. That Moses Simon, Alex Iwobi, Tamo Chukwueze. So I'm the worst at doing that. I'm not going to be here and play the righteous guy. I attack players. I criticize players. But I'm not going to criticize a player that on the day was one of the best and brightest lights of the team. As a matter of fact, the whole team did well. Yes, it was all fun with that, but the whole team did well. We just didn't qualify for the World Cup. There were so many good coming out of that team that I was surprised that anybody was getting blamed. But on the flip side, this is the side that got me. People coming out, and I still get calls till tomorrow. People coming out to say, oh, Victor Osimhen shouldn't have said this, shouldn't have said that, shouldn't have reacted the way he reacted. Assistant Oshoala shouldn't have done that. Man, all those guys, shut up. You guys get crazily excited when Zlatan Ibrahimovic give that kind of...
What do you make of his reaction? You know, on his Instagram story, he uploaded spawn the T-son, you know what his son means, something that's worthless or thereabout. You know, that's what he means loosely. Then, you know, the Agbaya comment, when Aziza Oshola commented that they say he should make it a Dubai bicycle kick again. Then Osimhen commented, no be that pundit go tell me what thing I go do. Then he ended with it, Agbaya. Do you think it was a tad disrespectful from Victor Osimhen? I mean, this is Ikpeba we're talking about.
Nigerians have funny characters. Osimhen just declared his position yesterday morning.
Yeah, yesterday on social media.
Go to social media. The same Nigerians that are saying a 23-year-old boy shouldn't say this, I've said what to a Victor Ikpeba who is not up to 50 years yet. No, let's follow the years that's on Wikipedia. And some people, Osimhen is in his 60s or 70s. The amount of insult that these same Nigerians, some way younger than Victor Osimhen, have given to Osimhen, and the amount of insult that these same Nigerians have given to Buhari, because now we're bringing age, we're bringing achievement. If we bring all that to the conversation, then we all should shut up. We shouldn't even criticize anybody. The same Nigerians that said all sort of things about Goodluck Jonathan, who've been saying all sort of things about Buhari, who say sort of everything about Bola Tinubu, Sanwo-Olu, are the guys who are not telling you that Victor Osimhen's comment is a tad bit disrespectful. I came to Lagos in 2003. Between that time and now, which is 19 years, I have heard the word Agbaya more time than any other time. It's a regular word. And then you're saying a boy who grew up in Lagos should not use it. A man is a product of his environment. That's a regular word that we use, you know, when you do anything. I've been told that I'm Agbaya like so many times. Even when I'm doing a live video or I post a video of my son crying, you see people say Agbaya, Agbaya. It's not a big deal. Why is it not a big deal? Why is it that anything that Victor Osimhen does is big? Somebody showed up, I was trying to advise him. Focus on your game and stay away from social media. The same people will tell you that, oh, Nigerian players are not using social media. Their mates abroad are using social media to grow. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, somebody asked a basketball player that you look like Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Are you related? The guy said, my father have not been to Sweden. And Zlatan Ibrahimovic, I don't know where popped out and said, but my father have been to Serbia. In other words, saying that my father feed don't sleep with your mama. That's what it means. People saw it as meme, as beautiful meme. Why is it that when a Nigerian player now is involved, it's no longer meme? That's when we now bring culture, ethnicity, bringing the moral code. We now bring in the moral code and want to use it to justify things. It doesn't make sense. It's just like Kozuma, kick a cat. They want to send him to jail. They want to terminate his contract. Cristiano Ronaldo hit the phone of a young boy who's not even putting the phone on his face, smash it down, and even have the audacity to come out to say the boy should come and watch Manchester United. Is the boy a Manchester United fan? Does the boy have anything to do with Manchester United? Who cares about if you want to go and watch this dead Manchester United team? But people are justifying it. It's okay. If it's Osimhen that did that one now, they will bring out the barrels. So let's call Vladimir Putin to bomb Osimhen because he has done this. I think there's no sense in the conversation. For me, I took it as a joke. Because on the face value, you grew up in Lagos, right? Yeah. The word Agbaya, is it not something like a joke?
It's used a lot, but I mean, if you want to look at the other meaning,
there's no other meaning. There is no other meaning. Why are you putting other meaning when it comes to Victor Osimhen? Have you not used Agbaya for somebody before? Which meaning did you use?
Well, in this
you
context,
are stuttering. Okay, I get it. You've not used Agbaya for somebody.
I just used it because I don't know the meaning. Then I just use it like somebody who's older than you and is doing something that is a younger person would do. You just call that person Agbaya.
Okay, so that's why you saw it that time.
So, but
why are you not giving Victor Osimhen? How old are you now?
I'm 27.
You're 27. When did you discover the meaning?
Wasn't really far back.
So when you were 23, you obviously didn't know the meaning.
I didn't know.
What if Osimhen does not know the meaning by 20? It's 20. Don't forget that when Jurgen Klopp used the word little tournament, he said it's lost in translation because it's not an Englishman. Victor Osimhen is not Yoruba. He's from Edo State. He may also not know the meaning.
Well, you're talking about punditry and criticism. They are kind of related.
They travel together.
We see it all over the world. Not just Victor Ikpeba now. A lot of pundits do it. They criticize because as an analyst, you have the time to watch the game over and over again and say, okay, this is what this player could have done better. And unlike the player, you work with your instinct at that moment. So maybe Victor Osimhen felt it was right to go with the overhead kick. But
there was nothing wrong with Victor Osimhen doing overhead kick. Let's start with that.
He didn't say it was wrong. He said the better option. Maybe he could have controlled the ball. That was.
And like I said, there's nothing wrong with Victor Ikpeba's analysis too. I would do that, but don't say forget that he plays for Napoli. I think that's like kind of like waving. If a player is playing for Man City, you won't analyze Sadio Mane and say forget I play for Liverpool. Liverpool is where he plays for. You put the Liverpool in context. Don't put it out of context, because that for me is disrespectful. That's like looking like it sounds to me like jealousy, which is not. Victor Ikpeba can take care of himself. But I'm saying here that don't put that out of don't devalue it, because see, Osimhen is coming from a long line of people dissing him, bashing him, and he lives on this social media too. We see what other people do. Cristiano Ronaldo was criticized by his former teammate Wayne Rooney, and Cristiano Ronaldo attacked him that he's jealous, too jealous. And then what's it called? Wayne Rooney now said, if I say the things that I want to say, somebody will run away. See, if Victor Ikpeba had also done that on social media, they would have given us joy. They would have just given us clues and we'll move on. What I don't get is, why do we want to nail Victor Osimhen to the cross? Who is more hot not going to the World Cup? Is he Ikpeba or Osimhen? Let's be honest here. Yeah, this guy was meant to lead the line to the African Cup of Nations. He had that almost career-ending injury. You saw him I saw him up close and personal. There are 18 screws on top of his eye. Yeah, 18. And the very minute I touched that thing and I felt it, the first thing that crossed my mind is my leg. And then there's another 16 screw down here. So that guy is carrying some funny metal screw all over his face. He's cyborg right now. He's dealing with that. He didn't go to the Nations Cup where he's supposed to come of age and lead the line. Now, the time for him to go to the World Cup, the first World Cup, he has missed it. Within that space, do you think somebody is rational enough to think all these things and come out and give you a professional answer? I mean, somebody who took all the time in this world to announce his candidacy for presidency also made a mistake. He's a professor at law. He's a senior advocate. But said some rubbish that if you put him on the floor now, everybody will that's why everybody's flogging him. He said he wants to continue from where Buhari stopped. He doesn't want to try atomic bomb at us. But we let it go. Why are we crucifying? Every other part of Nigeria will take it easy. But when it comes to football, we just feel like we must to kill the footballer. Why? Why are we like that? A professor came out in public and said, we laughed about it and we moved on. Why can't we laugh over Victor Osimhen's own and move on? If Zlatan Ibrahimovic says this, we will laugh and move on. If Cristiano Ronaldo says it, we will laugh and move on. If Robert or anybody says it, we will laugh and move on. Why are we staying in this place, festering on it, incubating it, and trying to give birth to a monster out of it?
Anyways, I feel both parties must have reached out to each other to just clear the air, because Victor Ikpeba was back on Monday Night Football yesterday as well, so he said he won't shy away from constructively criticizing players and all that. He loves Victor.
Victor Ikpeba also does not like criticism anyway.
I don't know. I didn't watch much of Victor Ikpeba
because Victor Ikpeba is like my big bros. I criticize him for going to Yaya Bello's endorsement and that cost me my podcast. He was supposed to be the host of my podcast alongside Celestine Emmanuel Babayaro. That affected it. Now that apart, he's still my big bros. I still got mad respect for him. That apart, Victor Ikpeba that we're talking about, he's not in talking term with Sunday Olise since 1993. Tina. That's about 30 years, 29 years now. So these people, everybody have their own drama. Let's not make Victor Osimhen a scapegoat and kill him, because if we kill him, we're losing one more striker. Just the same way we've made Maduka Okoye a scapegoat and we don't have a backup goalkeeper right now. So let's be very, very careful how we demonize these people, because tomorrow if they turn their back on us again, we'll come back and say, oh, if Victor Osimhen says he's not playing for the Super Eagles tomorrow now, that he wants to focus on his Napoli career, are we going to invite Victor Ikpeba to come and play? The same way we see it as joke and fun and meme from abroad, let's also do the same thing here now. Why is our own different? Why is the laws different?
You are listening to Elegbete TV Radio.